Next game in the 1987 American League playthrough. We're at April the 14th. I am not quite ready yet, but I figured I'd just jump on here while I'm fixing everything in its place. So I've done everything except for the Boston Red Sox defense. So I do need to do that. Did the ballpark effects already. So we can just kind of ease into this as we are putting the finishing touches on the Red Sox score sheet. And it just started, so if anyone happens to show up later, they won't miss this. They won't miss any of the game because we're doing this. All right, so I'm just filling these things in. The score sheet, people ask me about the score sheet. Baseball Sim Research is where I'm getting this from. They have it from just about every season. It gives you the place, the lineup already pre-printed and who the starting pitchers are the next couple games, so I don't use a reliever in a starting role by accident. So that's another reason why I like that, and it gives enough space to put the strat ratings in there pretty well. So even with my poor penmanship, I can manage to get it halfway decent. So right now we're just finishing up the defensive ratings on the Red Sox. Let's see, Dewey Evans still got that -4 arm. Even after all these years. So, getting closer and closer to being complete. All right, so the Red Sox lineup. Hello, Mr. Gudeman. Just running a tad bit behind, so I'm trying to catch up on my defensive ratings and ballpark ratings and everything else. And then also making sure I've got everything in line the way I want it. So I can get my benches and bullpens going here. Really happy to see you, Jeff, using the 2021 season. Seeing some modern action there. I know you're like a kid in a candy store getting that new product, which is always cool. It's all part of the hobby. That excitement. And there's definitely nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's good for the soul. All right. Yes, sir. And yeah, just to elaborate on some of those pronunciations, it is Anthony Rendon on that one name. I'm not sure if there were any others that were giving you trouble, but it is pronounced Anthony Rendon, third baseman for the Angels. Okay, I can see I need to move way over here to fit the score sheet in line. So let me get that all together. Got my computer over. Got the dice, Boston colored dice, at least as close as I could get them. Actually, they're a little bit different. Let me fix this. I got two different forms of red dice here, which don't match, which is kind of weird. So accidentally picked up one of the wrong D6s. Red D6s didn't match, so wanted to make sure that I got that. Yeah, Justin, sorry, this is just American League. Hello, Ron, how you doing? This is just American League because I played the 87 National League when I was doing the 87 Atlanta Braves replay in History Maker Baseball, so I really didn't want to, although as much as I would love to use the pitchers hitting, and I don't really like the DH, I thought playing the 87 National League would be a little overkill, and trying to play the whole thing would be way too much for what I could handle. So American League, I think I can hopefully do that. Let's look at the scores from the previous games played April the 14th. First score is going to be Kansas City and Detroit. And it's a good thing I was scoring on the computer because I ran out of room on my score sheet. George Brett actually had a walk-off two-run home run in the bottom of the 12th to lead the Royals over the Tigers by the score of 5-3. Royals improved to 3-4. Tigers dropped to 2-5. Winning pitcher was Bud Black in relief. Losing pitcher is Eric King. Black is 1-1. King is 0-1. Home runs in the game, Danny Tarble his first, and that's the only home run in the game other than Brett's, of course. All right, we have Cleveland and the Yankees. This is another wild one, went extra innings, with the Yankees pulling it out 7-6 in 11 innings. Of course, the previous game between the Indians and the Yankees went 14 innings. This one only goes 11. So both bullpens kind of get taxed, and they didn't have a whole lot left, but they, used who they could. But some of those guys just had to rest, plain and simple. Brooke Jacoby had home runs 1 and 2 in a losing cause, and home runs for the Yankees, Mike Pagliarulo his first. But actually, the Yankees won the game in walk-off fashion. Gary Ward hit a double, and then on the X chart, it was a right field X. It managed to be a double, and then the right fielder, Corey Snyder, had a two-base error on top of it, which scored the run, and that's how they won it by the score of 7-6. Yankees now 4-3, Cleveland now 3-4. Minnesota and Oakland, it was the Oakland A's defeating the Twins 4-2. Winning pitcher was Chris Cotteroli. He's 2-0. Jay Howell got his third save. Mark Portugal drops to 0-2. Dan Gladden hit a home run for the Twins. Home runs. Reggie Jackson hit his first home run for the A's. In fact, he had an RBI double in the third and a 2-run homer in the fifth. So he was player of the game for sure in that DH role as the A's defeated the Twins. Milwaukee and Baltimore. This is the game for April 15th I'll be playing, but right now Milwaukee on the 14th defeated the Orioles by a score of 5-3. Mark Ciardi got the win, 1-0. Dan Plesac is league-leading third save. Mark Williamson, 0-1, loser in relief. Multiple home runs in the game. Jim Dwyer hit home runs 1 and 2 in a losing cause. Cal Ripken hit his second. Home runs. Cecil Cooper hit his first for the Brewers. Brewers now 7-1. Orioles now 3-5. And again, that will be the game next April 15th because in real world, that's the game Juan Nieves pitched a no-hitter. So I'm going to try to recreate that as best I can. White Sox and the Blue Jays. The White Sox continue their winning ways. They're now 6-1. Blue Jays dropped to 5-2. Sox went at 4-1. Floyd Bannister got the win. Went 8 1/3. Then he tired, and Bobby Thigpen came in to get his third save. Joe Johnson took the loss. He's 0-1. Cecil Fielder hit the home run for Toronto, their only run of the game. And Donnie Hill hit a home run for the White Sox. They won it 4-1. And the final game, California and Seattle. And it was, oh shoot, this is the one I meant to print the box score for. Let me get the box score. I have it on the computer because it went long and my score sheet ran out. Yet another extra inning game. So this one, and I'll show it on the computer screen. It's best it'll show up here. It went 13 innings, and the Angels put up 6 runs in the top of the 13th to win it. Donnie Moore gets the win 1-1. Mark Huseman the loss 0-1. And the Angels now 2-6. Mariners dropped to 6-2. Home runs in the game, Downing his third, Rupert Jones his first, McLemore's first, and Donnell Nixon his second. So I had to print this on here because I ran out of room on the score sheet. It only goes to 11, to 10 or 11 innings, and this thing went 13. So a lot of extra inning games on the April 14th docket. I'm hoping this one does not follow suit because I really don't want to play an extra inning game today if I can avoid it. But we have to go by whatever the dice dictate. Hello, JC. Good to see you. Ben, good to see you as well. The score sheets are from, as I showed earlier, from Baseball Sim Research. Go to baseballsimresearch.com, and you can get these pre-filled score sheets to print out at your leisure. Like I said, it has the pre-filled lineups, and it's also got who the starting pitchers are for the next couple of games, so you don't use a relief pitcher that gets a spot start. You don't use them as a relief pitcher in, where they're going to start the next day. That's kind of a bad taboo thing to do, so that's where that's coming from. All right, now let me get everything back in line. Now that I've done the scoreboard, I think it's time to get everything lined back up. There you see the benches and the bullpens for Texas and Boston. Boston going one short on their bench, according from what Texas is doing. But they're going to see about getting through this anyway. Al Nipper is your starter for the Red Sox. In the '87 season, he was 11-12. And Ed Correa will be on the mound for Texas, 3-5 with a 7.59 ERA. So you would think Boston would have the advantage. Boston's actually 0-6. They have not won a game yet. Texas is 2-4. So Boston looking for that very first win. Ballpark effects. We're in the bandbox known as Fenway. Singles are 1-19 for lefties, 1-15 for righties. Home runs 1-7 for lefties, 1-10 for righties. Boston won the game in real world 4-1. And my focus is off here. Let me fix that. Get that straight. So Boston won the game real world 4-1. Ed Correa is a +5 based on his +7 hold rating. And Don Slop being a +1, which is a +8. But, of course, +5 is as high as you can get. Nipper is a +4. Sullivan's a 0. So Nipper is a +4. And since the cards for '87 do not have the wild pitch and balk totals on here, I went to the computer. Wild pitch rating for Nipper is a 6. Balk, he's a 0. And Correa, I have to figure that out once we get to the bottom of the first. Hello, Mr. Gardner, checking in from the rink. Hope you're doing well, doing your hockey announcing, or I thought you used to refereeing at one point, but I guess you've moved to announcing now. I don't know, but good to see you. Always enjoy your digital dice stuff with Uncle Ron. That's always a pleasure to tune into and see what's going on. Waiting for the Black Friday sales to come out and the announcements on that. Hello, Mr. Robert. How you doing? All right, so we are ready to go. Al Nipper finishing up the warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Odeby Young again McDowell. And I've got the game up on the computer so I can get the up-to-the-minute stats. Although, granted, grain of salt, it's only been a few games. But Al Nipper has had one previous start. He has no win-loss record, a 2.84 earned run average, 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a home run. So he's looking to get his first win. Odeby McDowell is struggling. He's hitting 143, 3 for 21. No homers, no runs driven in, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. So Odeby trying to bounce back and get in the swing of things, pardon the pun. All right, let me do one more focus check to make sure we are doing okay. Still looks a little fuzzy on my end. Maybe I don't have, on my computer I probably don't have it set right. I didn't. See if that's better now. Looks a little better. All right. McDowell, Nipper to McDowell, and we're underway. That's a 3-8 and left hand, or McDowell against a righty. 1-7 is a single, 8 or higher is a line out. That's a 15. So he will line it out to the second baseman, Marty Barrett. I'm sorry, not Marty Barrett, Ed Romero. Marty Barrett's injured. So line out to second, and I'm going to score just the first on the computer, I should say. So it might be a little bit of a slight delay in the play because I'm going to be updating the computer as I go, scoring it on the computer through manual entry as I go. So line out to second. And now that'll bring up Scott Fletcher. Fletcher hitting 182. No home runs, 3 runs driven in. Nipper 2-7. It's a 1-17 single, so that will be a base hit for Scott Fletcher. That'll help his average. He's aboard. Fletcher, to get the lead, needs a 2 through 6 or a 10, but he could be caught stealing with an 8. So that's dangerous to try to take the lead. However, you do have that enticing +4. So if he got the lead, it'd be a 1-19, 1-17. So it's pretty good enticing moment to try to do that. So he needs a 2 through 6 or a 10, and he has to avoid an 8. That's a 3. He gets the lead. So he does get the lead, makes it a 15, being held as a 13, but then the +4 is a 17. So 1-17 for Scott Fletcher to steal it. And he's caught stealing. Boy, how about that? Mark Sullivan just threw him out. And Romero puts on the tag. Actually, with O'Brien batting, that would be the shortstop Spike Owen putting on the tag. So Fletcher is out, caught stealing. Tried to be aggressive, and it just didn't work. And Sullivan throws him out. So 2 down, bases empty for Pete O'Brien. He's hitting .286. 3 homers and 4 runs driven in, so he's been productive. 5-6 left-handed is a strikeout. So that's going to do it for the Rangers. They come away empty-handed. And we go to the bottom of the first. It's Texas nothing, and the Red Sox coming to bat. So if we look at the wild pitch rating for Correa, he's a 20. So he's an automatic wild pitch if it comes up, because he's a 20, but his balk is a 0. So he can't balk, but he certainly will wild pitch anytime it comes up. Ed Correa will finish his warm-up tosses. And one of the best pure hitters of our generation, Wade Boggs, will be leading things off for the Sox. Correa won his only start. He's 1-0 with a .386 earned run average. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Boggs is kind of struggling a little bit, only .241, but he does have 2 solo homers to go with that. But .241 is definitely low for Wade Boggs. .410 to a left-hander is an in-home run chance. Boggs has normal power, 1-14. That's a 1. It is gone. Wade Boggs says, "What do you mean I'm struggling?" That's a home run for Wade Boggs, his 3rd of the season. All 3 have been solo home runs. He's got 3 home runs and 3 runs batted in. Go figure. Nobody can be on base when he hits a home run, apparently. I don't know why, but that's just the way it goes, apparently. All right, so Wade Boggs with that leadoff home run gets the Red Sox on the lead. Remember, they're 0-6. They're looking for their first win. Here's Ed Romero. He's hitting .300, 3 for 10 since taking over for the injured Marty Barrett. And it's 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Correa, 6-6, and that's a walk. Remember, Correa had an ERA over 7, so could be in trouble here at a pitcher's park like Fenway. Romero will not be held, but we'll have the havoc roll. And nothing going on there. Here's Bill Buckner, Billy Buck. Billy Buck is hitting .375 in 24 at-bats. No homers, 2 runs driven in. That's a 3-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. That's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, just what the doctor ordered if you're the pitcher. And Correa needed it. 6-4-3 double play erases that. 2 outs, bases clear for the venerable Jim Rice. Rice hitting .440 in 25 at-bats, 2 homers and 10 runs driven in. 3-11, and he's going to fly to center field to end the inning. But the Red Sox do get the run on the Boggs home run. And at the end of 1 inning of play, it is Boston 1 and Texas nothing. So now Al Nipper trying to protect this 1-0 lead. And due up will be the strikeout machine, Pete Incaviglia. Incaviglia on the season, hitting .095, 1 home run, and it's his only run batted in. He has struck out 10 times in 21 at-bats. 2-6, and he's going to strike out again. So for Incaviglia, that's his 11th strikeout in 22 at-bats. So 55% of the time, he has struck out. That'll bring up Ruben High Sierra. And Sierra on the replays hitting .391, 4 homers and 7 runs driven in. I believe the 4 home runs lead the league. Just 23 at-bats, and he's got 4 home runs already. 4-8, switch hitter batting left is a 1-4 triple. That's a 1. The double die comes up as a 1 again. So it's a triple for Ruben Sierra. A 1-out triple, and now the Red Sox will bring the infield in. They don't give up a cheap run, as Larry Parrish, the designated hitter, is the batter. Parrish hitting only .217, no homers, 2 runs driven in. Havoc, there's a 1, chance of a wild pitch. Wild pitch rating for Nipper is a 6. So 1-6, he's going to wild pitch the run home. He does. It's a wild pitch that's going to come in, and that's going to tie the game. So the infield can go back to normal. Al Nipper let one get away, and that's going to tie the score. So here's Parrish now with the bases clear and 1 out. 4-8, and that's a 1-11 double. That's a 10. It'll be a double. Double for Larry Parrish. That'll help his average. He will not be held. He doesn't run very well. And here comes Don Onslaught, the catcher. Slaught hitting .333, 6 for 18, a home run, 4 runs driven in. Nothing on the Havoc this time. Nipper to Slaught. 6-10, and that's a ground ball third base. Actually, we're looking at Boggs, and Boggs is a 2E16. 2E16 for Boggs. 2 and a 1. That's another. I'm telling you that D20 comes up as a 1 more than 5%. It's not just my perception. It's been documented. So that's gonna be a single, but it's only 1 star. So unless there's an error, Parrish can't score. Let's check the error on Boggs. He's an E16. Got to avoid 3, 4, 7, 14, 16, and 18. That's a 15. He gets by with it. No error. So Slaught with the base hit, thanks to the D20 being a 1 once again. And now the runners are at the corners with 1 out, and 1's already in for Steve Buechele. Nobody's being held on. Buechele, they're going to play for the double play. He's a pretty good double play candidate. Buechele's hitting .250, 5 for 20, but 3 of those 5 hits were home runs. Got 6 runs driven in. Make sure, I don't remember if I did the Havoc roll, so I'll do it now. I didn't think I did. All right, Nipper to Buechele, infield double play depth. 4-8, and that doesn't matter what depth they are. That's a 1-11 double. That's a single, 2 stars. That will score the run and move Slaught to third base. This could be a 10-9 game the way we're going, and the way that neither pitcher is exactly dominant. Rangers now have grabbed the lead by the score of 2-1, and they got still runners on the corners with 1 out. And here comes the governor, Jerry Brown. And again, the infield looking for the double play. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Jerry Brown on the replay, only 167 average. No homers or runs driven in. Nipper needs a double play. 5-3, switch hitter batting left is a fly ball, left field X. Left fielder is Rice. He's only a 4, so this could drop. This could be trouble. 4-19, he'll get to that, but is it a sacrifice fly? 4-19 is an F3, and F3 means the runner has to hold, so there is no sacrifice fly. We're checking for an error, E7. It's got to avoid 6, 15, 16, and 18. And he does, so it's just a fly to left, not deep enough, and the runners have to hold. So they escape one there, as it was not deep enough to bring home the run. Now we flip to the top of the order, and Odeby, Young again, McDowell. And now since we've gone through that order once already, I don't have to run their averages again. I can go back to normal playing. And we've got McDowell up, runners at the corners. 2 down, infield normal depth now. Nothing on the Havoc. Here's McDowell. He lined out to second his first chance. And that's a 6-5 left-handed. 1-18's an in-home run chance. He's got normal power. Odeby, Young again. McDowell feels young again. He hits a home run. It's an in-home run, 1-18. That's a 13. It is a 3-run bomb for Odeby McDowell. For McDowell, that is home run number 1, and RBIs 1, 2, and 3. And that is now 5 runs in the inning for Texas, and Al Nipper may be looking for some relief, as he thought he was going to get out of it, but McDowell made him pay. Here comes Fletcher. He singled his first trip up and then got caught stealing. Al Nipper is actually now showing fatigue, but he's going to try to get through the inning. That's a 3-11, and that's a ballpark single check. And that's the D20 is a 1 again, so you know it's a single for Scott Fletcher. And can they get Nipper through the inning is the question. Fletcher will be held, but he won't try anything. He got caught last time, so they're going to keep him where he is. Nothing on the Havoc. Here's Pete O'Brien. He struck out his first chance. 3-7 for O'Brien. He's going to fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. Texas sends 9 to the plate. 5 of them score. And we go to the bottom of the second. It is now 5-1 Texas. So what started out good for for Boston has definitely turned around. But again, Correa, a 7.59 earned run average. So not exactly Cy Young out there. So the Red Sox should be able to score some runs. That might be all for Nipper. We'll have to wait and see because he is fatigued, and I don't know how long I want to go with Nipper. Here's Don Baylor, Mr. Hit by Pitch. And Baylor is hitting .250, no homers, 2 runs driven in. He has walked 5 times. 3-4, and that is a hit by pitch. So there you go, right on cue. Mr. Hit by Pitch gets hit by a pitch. And Baylor is aboard. He will not be held or go anywhere, as he doesn't have much of a chance. Although that +5 sure does look tempting. You know that? You know what? We're going to try to get the lead with Baylor. 4 or 6, he gets the lead. 5, he gets the lead, so he's going to go. He's a 13, -2 for me is an 11. Actually, it was not held, so I take it back. We were not holding him on, so that's 13 stays, and he's a +5 for Correa is an 18. So 1 to 18, he'll steal it. 20, he gets caught. He wasn't even being held, and he got caught. I tell you, that devil die is terrible. Terrible, terrible. You say, why run when you're down 5-1? Well, if you can get in the scoring position, it's almost like a gift, but tell you what, you had all those good odds and just didn't work out in your favor. So he is erased. He is erased. Did I misread that? Did I roll a 5 to get the jump? Doesn't matter, I got caught anyway. So I may have misread it as a 4 through 6. It was a 4 or a 6. And I rolled a 5. So, you know what? Well, I've already done it now. So too late now because I went for it and didn't work. He should have held, but that's all right. No, I remember rolling a 5. So I didn't catch it was 4 or 6. I looked at it 4 through 6. Misread it totally. That happens. All right, here's Dewey Evans, 391 average, 2 homers, 9 runs driven in. 3-8 for Dewey. He's going to strike out. So 2 down, and that's going to flip it over to Dave Henderson. Henderson on the replay, a $182, no homers, 3 runs driven in. 2-4, and it's a ground ball to third. So maybe that's why Boston's 0-6 on the season. They're doing things, stupid things like that. All right, we go to the third inning. I really don't want to take Nipper out after just 2 innings. We're going to let him keep going, although the bullpen is on the ready. Jeff Sellers is their long reliever. He's a starter, but he doesn't start for a while. And he does have relief ratings, so Jeff Sellers is loosing in the bullpen. Here comes Incaviglia. Nipper, 5-7. Ground ball, second base, X. That is Romero. He's a 3E25. 3 and a 10 is good enough. That will end up being a G2. E25 he has to avoid. 3, 11, 17, and 18. And he barely does. It's an 8. So he barely avoids it and makes the play. Romero retires Incaviglia. That'll bring up Ruben Sierra. I'm not scoring the game to the computer anymore, so actually I am going to score at this one last inning, so let me do that so I can get to the bottom of the order for Boston. And I'll score the last 6 innings on my own after the game is over. All right, Ruben Sierra, the batter. Tripled his first time up, 3-3. It's a fly to center. That's 2 down. Maybe Nipper can redeem himself after a rough second inning. Here's Larry Parrish. He doubled first time up. 4-6, and that's a walk. So Nipper will give up the 2-out walk to Parrish, who will not be held. And Don Slaught, the batter. Nipper 4-5, and that's a fly to right field to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Rangers. Nothing going there. We go to the bottom of the third, still 5-1 ball game. And the Red Sox still haven't got through their order yet. Texas almost twice through their order. So here's Mark Sullivan, nephew of Haywood Sullivan. So definitely nepotism there. Hitting a $118. No homers and 1 run driven in, but Rich Gedman is injured. So they have to go with some catchers that aren't so good. 2-6, and that's a strikeout. They are making Correa look really, really good right now, are the Red Sox. Here's Spike Owen. Spike Owen hitting 143, 3 out of 21. A homer and 2 runs driven in. 1-7, and that's a fly to right, 2 down. And that brings up Boggs, who homered his first time up. 3-9. This time he will draw the free pass. 2-out walk to Boggs. And he won't go anywhere. Romero, your batter. Romero walked his first chance. 111. Ballpark single check. Right-handed, it is 1-15. That's an 11, so it will be a single. 1 star, but it keeps the inning going. And that's going to bring up Bill Buckner, a chance to drive home some runs and get him back in the game. Billy Buck hit into a double play his first time up. 2-8 for Billy Buck. He's going to pop it up to short. Fletcher is there, and the inning's over. So at the end of 3, it's still going to remain 5-1 Texas. And now I'm going to score the rest of the game on the computer after the game is over. So we will now pick up the pace, as I won't be going to the Strat-O-Matic computer anymore. I'm just going to bring up, if I need to bring up a relief pitcher's numbers or something, I'll do that, but I'm not going to do anything as far as gameplay. All right, so Nipper going to come back out. Face Steve Buechele, Jerry Brown, and Odeby McDowell. Nipper trying to hang on. 5-9, and that's a ground ball to second. Just avoided a ballpark blast. So it is a ground ball to second base. Romero is there, 1 away. For the Governor, Jerry Brown. 2-11, and that's a ballpark single check. Switch hitter batting left. That's a 1-19, so that's definitely going to be a single for Jerry Brown. He will draw the single, and he's going to be looking to run because Nipper is a +4. So if he gets the lead, it would be a 1-17. So they're going to try it 2 or a 4 through 9, but 11 he gets caught stealing. That's a 4, so he does get the lead. Again, 15 minus 2 from Hale is a 13, and then +4 is a 17. So 1-17, and he's in there barely. Stolen base, and I do believe that Romero is arguing that he's got caught, that he tagged him, but umpire says, not on my watch. So Brown's at second. He will be held there to try to keep the chance from him scoring on a single, keep that low as possible. And here's McDowell. He homered, had that big 3-run homer his last time up. 3-6, he's going to draw the base on balls. And now Nipper may be near the end, as it looks like actually left-hander Joe Sambito is ready to come in to face O'Brien. So he might be coming in. This might be the last batter that Nipper's going to face, unless he can somehow pull a double play out of his hat. 5-3 is a fly ball left field X. That's Jim Rice again. He's a 4. Got a good roll last time. See if he gets this time. 4 and a 20, so he's going to get to it again. He's gotten lucky. E7, left fielder. Got to avoid 6, 15, 16, and 18. And that's good. Good play for Jim Rice. 2 down. And now O'Brien is up, the lefty. Boy, what do you do with Nipper? They're going to make the call to the bullpen. So Al Nipper will leave. And the only lefty in their bullpen, Joe Sambito, Veteran left-hander. Used to be a closer for the Astros, but this is late in his career. So Sambito will be coming in at 2-6 with a 6.93 earned run average. But they're playing the percentages lefty on lefty. And we can close the book on Nipper after the inning is over. He is responsible for both of these guys, so we can't do it just yet. And as I look at the statistics on Sambito, the replay statistics, I should say, see what he's got here. On his replay stats, he is 0-1. His ERA is 19.29. 2 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. So he has definitely had his issues, but again, minimal sample size, so can't really go by that. We're just playing the percentages lefty on lefty to try to get out of the inning. He is a -5 hold, so that changes everything to a minus, from a +4 to a -5. So if nothing else, he will help the run game with that -5 hold rating. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Lefty on lefty matchup. Brown is being held at second base. With the lefty up, that means the shortstop, Spike Owen, is responsible for holding the runner. He is the only one responsible for holding the runner. 1-6. That's a single to left field by O'Brien against the lefty. Would have singled also against Nipper with 2 stars. This single has no stars, so he can possibly, advance a little further. We shall see. Brown was being held. And let's get his. He's a 15. Being held makes him a 14. But 2 outs makes it a 16. The single went to left field. Jim Rice is a +1, makes that a 17. So 1-17, if they try for him, then the runner McDowell can take third on the overthrow. But with 2 outs, I think, and you're down, you got to try it. So they're going to try for the runner. And if McDowell takes third and Bryant takes second, so be it. But they got to try for the runner. 1-17, he's safe. 16, he's in there. But you had to gamble. When you're down 5-1, you had to gamble. McDowell's going to take third. And O'Brien will take second on the throw. So it's just the price you pay when you gamble. That run, of course, is charged to Nipper. And now here comes Incavilla. First base is open, but Incavilla is 0 for 2, so I think they're going to try to go after him. They don't want to pitch to Sierra, so you're going to have to pitch to Incavilla. 2-8 against a left-hander. 1's a home run. 2-20 is a double. So both of those runs will now score. Close the book on Nipper. He gives up 7 runs. This one is the 8th run is given up, charged to Sambito. As Incavilla, a 2-run double. And things getting from bad to worse for the Red Sox. They're looking to fall 0-7 pretty quickly. Sambito trying to get out of the inning. Facing Sierra. 4-4. Sierra switcher batting right-handed. Ground ball third base X. That's Boggs. He's a 2-E16. 2-20. He'll get to it. E16 he has to avoid. On an E16 he has to avoid 3, 4, 7, 14, 16, and 18. And he does, so the inning is finally over. But 3 runs come in, and it's 8-1 Texas. Now we can close the book on Mr. Nipper. And I think that's going to be all for Sambito as well. He's going to go a third of an inning. Nipper's going to go 3 2/3. And let's see here how many hits. I'm not scoring a game on the computer anymore, so I don't have that information. I do it by hand. Do it the hard way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits given up by Nipper. 2 hits given up by Sambito. 1 run Sambito, 7 runs Nipper. Walks and strikeouts. Nipper struck out 2. Walked 1. Walked 2. Struck out 2, walked 2. Sambito, nothing either way. Jeff Sellers will be coming on to eat some innings for the Red Sox in the top of the 5th. So we say goodbye to Sambito. And now Ed Correa has been given a huge lead to work with. And the Boston faithful are not so faithful anymore. But there's still 6 innings to go. So anything can possibly happen. Correa to Rice, 210, and that is a ground ball to third, although they're making Correa look awful good, I will admit. Here's Don Baylor. If you're an anti-Red Sox fan, you got to be loving this game. 3-8, and that's a walk. So Baylor got hit by a pitch, and this time he walks. So that'll bring up Dewey Evans. Hello, Mr. Ivy. I did not see you. All right, here's Dewey Evans. Struck out his first chance. 5-10, and that's a fly center X. That's McDowell. He's a 3E5. 3E5. 3 into 14. He'll get to that. E5. Center fielder. He's got to avoid 4, 16, 17, and 18, which he does, so it's good play. Evans is out of there for Hindu, Dave Henderson. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Correa to Henderson. 3-9, ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. So the Red Sox go quietly in their half of the fourth. We've played 4. It is 8-1 Texas. And Correa is just rolling along without a care in the world. Now the Red Sox will go to their bullpen for Jeff Sellers. He's going to be an inning eater. He is a starter and reliever, but he doesn't start for a while. Doesn't start until the 18th, so he's got 4 days before he has to pitch, so he can go a few innings. He's got a relief rating of 3. 7-8 with a 5.28 ERA. If you're looking good for a good Red Sox pitcher in 1987, you're not going to find one. So at least not early on, because other than Clemens, be about the only one you can find, I think. So Larry Parrish. Hello, Spokane Steve. Didn't see you there. All right, whoops. Go down here where we need the score sheet. All right, so Jeff Sellers is going to be looking to, they like to get at least 3 innings out of Sellers. He's going to face Parrish. Parrish to thought. 3-7. 1-15 is a single. That's a 10. So there you go. The hit parade continues. Parrish with a score 8-1. I'm going to just I'm going to call if the Dogs on stolen bases. That's a 1, so it's a wild pitch chance. Let me get the wild pitch numbers off of Sellers off the computer because the cards in 87 do not have the information. So Sellers, his wild pitch rating is a 3. Balk is a 0. So 1-3. Now you will not throw the wild pitch. It's blocked. Here's Slot. 2-9, and that is a ground ball to third base A, so Boggs will throw it to Romero, who flips to first to Evans to get the double play. I'm sorry, not Evans, Buckner. I don't know where I got Evans from. Evans played first base later in his career, real at the end of his career, but not in 87, at least not a lot. So 2 quick outs. That will help things. Stolen base percentages, I gotten caught twice already when I thought I had the odds in my favor. So I'm 0 for 2 on stolen bases. So it just depends. That D20 is evil. So Sellers, 6-8. 6-8 is another single. So good thing they got the double play. Buechele will single, and here comes the governor, Jerry Brown. Sellers to Brown. What can Brown do for you? 4-11. Switch hitter batting left. Fly ball left field X. We're back to Rice again. He's gotten lucky twice in a row. He's a 4, but I rolled a 19 and a 20 in each of his tries. This is a 15. He still might get to it. And he does. 4 and a 15. So Rice is living well. E7. E7 and 11. That's going to be just fine. There is no 11. So Rice makes the play and the inning's over. So even though he's a 4 outfielder in left field, he's made all 3 plays hit to him, thanks to high D20s. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Correa, this is his fatigue inning. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Mark Sullivan will be your batter. He struck out his first chance. 1-5. He's going to pop it up to second. So the leadoff home run from Boggs was great for Boston, but they haven't done anything since then. Here's Spike Owen, 5-7, switch hitter batting left. There's a ground ball shortstop. X Fletcher's a 3E26. 3 and a 17, he'll get to it. E26, he's got to avoid 12, 17, and 18. And that's 15, so that's good enough. 2 down. One shortstop retires the other. And here comes Boggs. He's homered and walked. 3-7, and that's going to be another walk. So Wade Boggs on base again. Of course, not going to be held. Not going to go anywhere. Not with the score being what it is. Ed Romero. Whoa, Suadice. Let's re-roll that again. 2-3, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-15, that's a 10. It will be a single. The inning will continue. So Romero, 2 for 2, plus a walk, and we've got it over to Buckner, but he's 0 for 2. Billy Buck trying to get something done. 3-7, and he doesn't. He grounds it to first. There's a plus there, but I mean the infield was not in, so it doesn't matter. Inning's over. Billy Buckner has left a lot of guys on base. He's left 4 guys on base on the last 2 at-bats. So he is not having a good night. Of course, nobody for Boston's having a good night except maybe Boggs and Romero. All right, we're going to the top of the 6th. Sellers back out there to face McDowell. McDowell is homered, walked, and lined to second. Top of the 6th. 4-3 left-handed. Ground ball first base X. That's Billy Buck. He's a 4E13. This could get by him. Could be like 86 all over again. But a 16 might be good enough. 4 and a 16 is a G2. So how about that? E13, he's got to avoid 11, 13, and 17. And he barely does. He gets to it and flips to Sellers covering because they know that Buckner can't hobble over fast enough to beat McDowell to the bag. So it's a good thing Sellers was on the ball. Here's Fletcher. 4-9, right-handed. That's another single. So yet another base hit. Fletcher now with 3 hits in the game. And here's Pete O'Brien. Sellers to O'Brien. 4-9. And the left-handed, that is a single to center field. Fletcher will stop with Henderson's -2 arm in center. They are going to hold him at second base. So 2 down. I'm sorry, 1 away. And 2 on. And here comes Incaviglia. Had that big double. His last time up, the big 2-run double. Sellers 5-6 is going to be a strikeout. So he gets Incaviglia on strikes. 2 down for Ruben Sierra. Ruben Sierra. 6-7, switch hitter bang left. That is a ground ball shortstop X. And that is Spike Owen. He's a 3E17. 3 and a 16, he'll get to it. 3 and a 16 will actually be a G1, so could be a forced play to second base. His error chances, he's got to avoid 15, 16, and 17. And he did not. That's a 16. It will be an error. In fact, for a E17 shortstop, a 16 is an E1 right there, right in the middle, E1. So the inning will continue. Instead of being out of the inning continues. Bases are loaded for Larry Parrish. Parrish doubled, singled, and walked, so he's had a perfect game so far. 5-6, and that is a strikeout to end the inning. So Sellers gets out of the mess. He's thrown 2 shutout frames, or like to get a third shutout frame from him, and then move on to somebody else, but at least try to bridge the gap a little bit. Correa, so he's got 2 knocks against his point of weakness, but with the 8-1 lead, why not let him keep going? Here's Rice. 2-7. That's a single for Rice. Base hit for Jim Rice. And here comes Baylor. He's hit by pitch and walked. 1 more base runner, and Correa will be fatigued. 3-5. Ground ball third base. Hey, Baylor hits into the 5-4-3 around the horn double play. That's the second double play the Red Sox have hit into. And they've also had a runner caught stealing. So they've gotten some outs on the base paths. Here's Dewey Evans, 111. And that's a fly between two ballpark chances. He flies to right to end the inning. So Correa is going to go 6 innings at least. He might keep going for a 7th. We shall see. 8-1. You can kind of let him do what he wants. And Sellers back out. This will probably be his last inning. That's one thing with the DH. You don't have to worry about when he comes up in the batting order. You can pitch him as long as you want till his arm falls off. It's the top of the 7th, and we're looking at Don Slaught, 4-8. 1-4 single, but that's a 9, so he's going to line it to short. 1 away. I know my penmanship is not very good, but it is what it is. Here's Buechele, 1-6, and he's going to ground it to short for out number 2. And that'll bring up the governor, Jerry Brown. So Sellers looking to go 3 shutout innings. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. He does go 3 shutout innings. They're half tempted to let him go another inning, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But we are at the 7th inning stretch. So I'm going to stand up for a quick second and stretch myself. And as we look forward to the April the 15th date on the schedule, tax day. So it's not exactly a friendly day for a lot of people if you happen to owe taxes. But that will be your game on the 15th. Don't know when I'll actually play it. Probably on Saturday, most likely. Maybe Sunday, because I got to have time to play the other games, and I won't be home Friday night to do it. So I'll probably play a lot of the games Saturday and probably play this one on Sunday or Saturday night, depending on what my schedule is. Brewers and the Orioles, Mike Flanagan against Juan Nieves, and this is the game Nieves threw the no-hitter in real world. So that's why I picked it. I picked this game thinking that Boston had a chance to get their first win against Texas, but the dice had other ideas. What can I tell you? So Correa is going to come back out. Gets 1 base runner on. He's going to be fatigued. But they're going to see if they can milk 7 innings out of him. Here's Hindu. 2-7. Struck him out. Obviously, the Boston score sheet looks a lot cleaner than the Texas side based on all the runs. So here's Sullivan, the catcher. 4-7, right-handed, and that's a walk. So now Correa is fatigued, but he's got an 8-1 lead, so they're going to give him a little bit longer leash. Spike Owen. 3-5. That's a single to center field. And now they might have to look at getting the bullpen out. So let me look at the Texas bullpen and see who is the most rested or who's not tired. Looks like Mike Loincloth will be coming in to pitch. He's like their mop-up guy. And when you're winning 8-1, that's as much as a mop-up as losing 8-1. So Mike Loin will be coming on 1-5 with a 6.10 earned run average. Mike Tenderloin, or Mike Loincloth, whatever you want to call him. He'll be coming in first. They're going to let Correa pitch to Boggs. See if he can get Boggs. But he is fatigued, but he's going to keep going. Bobby Valentine says, keep going. You can do it. 6-11 left-handed. That's a ballpark blast. Boggs' normal power. That's a 1. It's gone. Wade Boggs, his second home run of the game. And that's going to be it for Mr. Correa. Maybe they went one batter too far. A bridge too far, perhaps. As Wade Boggs hits home run number 4 on the season. Finally not a solo shot. Finally had people on base. So a 3-run shot, and all of a sudden it's 8-4, and it gets a little bit more interesting. And that will be it for Mr. Correa. He is done. And Mike Tenderloin will be coming on to pitch We can close the book on Correa. He's going to go 6 1/3. Going to give up 4 runs. And hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Did walk quite a few. Got 3 walks here, 4, 5. Walked 5 and hit a batter. And he struck out only 3. But he qualified for the win thanks to all the run support. So Correa will leave. Lloyd is in with 1 out and the base is empty now of an 8-4 game. Like I said, Lloyd on the replay. Oh, terrible on the replay. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 20.77. 4 innings pitched, 13 hits. So, Red Sox fans, you might have a chance. Hello, Brian B. How you doing? Yes, Odell McDowell did homer. He had a 3-run homer in the second. That's a part of the 5-run inning. But Wade Boggs just hit his second home run, a 3-run shot to cut the lead to 8-4. And now Mike Lloyd is in the game facing Romero. 111. That's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-10. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a 1-15 rather. That's going to be a base hit. So Romero is aboard. Here comes Billy Buck. They say the game is never over at Fenway. They might be just right. Lloyd 4-2. That's a ground ball pitcher B. Fielder's choice. It's going to go 1-6 for out number 2. And it's down to Jim Rice. Rice is 1 for 3. Lloyd 6-4. Ground ball third base X. That is Bouchel. And Bouchel is a 2E15. 2 and a 14. He'll get to it. 2 and a 14 would be a G1. And he's an E15. That is a 12. E15 at third. There's a 13, but no 12, so it's a good play. And Bouchel will just throw it to first to end the inning. But 3 runs for the Sox as they cut into that lead, making it 8-4. And boy, you're tempted to let Jeff Sellers keep going. The way, I mean, he just pitched so well. They're going to keep him in there. They are definitely keeping him in there. Odell McDowell will lead it off, top of the order for the Rangers in this 8-4 game, top of the 8th. Hello, Dav. How you doing? They are losing again. They're 0-6 on the replay. They were losing 8-1 till Boggs hit a 3-run homer, making it 8-4. So their hope does spring eternal. Sellers 3-9 to McDowell. That's a 1-11 double, and McDowell will hit a double. His second hit of the game. That'll bring up Scotty Fletcher. Not going to hold McDowell on. Sellers 5-3. That's a right field X. That's Dewey Evans. Evans is a 1E2, so we know he's going to get to it. But we need to make sure the runner won't advance. 1 and a 14 should be an easy non-advance play. 1 and a 14 is an F3, so the runner cannot advance. He is only an E2, so the only way he makes an error is 3, 16, or 18. 15, he just barely avoided the error, but it's not deep enough for McDowell to go to third, so there's 1 away for Pete O'Brien. Pete O'Brien, 2 for 4. Sellers, 5-5, left-handed, ground ball, second base C. That'll get the runner to third, but now they're a 2-way for Incaviglia. He's doubled. He's also struck out twice. He's 1 for 4. Sellers going for his 4th shutout inning. Maybe he should have started, huh? 4-11. Fly ball left field X. Boy, Rice has been living dangerously. Can he do it again? He's a 4. Nah, 7 may not help him this time. 4 and a 7 is an SI2, so that's going to score the run. Play with fire too much. There's no way they could avoid it. When you're 4, the dice will find you. Rice is an E7. He needs to avoid 6, 15, 16, and 18. And he does. It's just going to be a single, but it's an RBI single for Incaviglia. Makes the score 9-4. And now Sellers just trying to hold on. He's near fatigue. One more batter, one more base runner would put him at fatigue. Trying to get him through the inning. 6-8, switcher to Bain left. 6-8 is a single to right field. Single to right field. Incavilla does not run very well, and against Dewey Evans' arm, you're not going to challenge that. But now Sellers is fatigued, so that's going to be it for Sellers. They can't afford to let him pitch when he's fatigued. So, but he gave him a lot. He definitely gave him all he had. And they will turn it now over to Steve Crawford out of the bullpen. Steve Crawford, 5-4 with a 5.33 earned run average. Again, if you're looking for a good Boston reliever in 87, you're not going to find him. Not even Schiraldi was very good. So, much less the lower guys. So, Steve Crawford will be on. He's trying to keep the score where it is. Runners are at first and second, 2 down. Clutch situation for Larry Parrish. Nothing on the Havoc. Parrish, 2 for 3, single, double, and a walk. Crawford, 6-7, and that's damage done. 15 is a single, 2 stars. That'll score the run. That's charged to Sellers. Sierra will go to third. Parrish in there with a single. Can't close the book on Sellers yet. He is responsible for Sierra. 2 runs are in. It's now 10-4. It's a 10-4 good buddy game. Get your CBs out. Here's Don Slott. 1, so chance of a wild pitch. And they have to figure out, hello Prague, how you doing? See you sneak in there. Wild pitch rating for Crawford. And his wild pitch rating is a 6. So 1-6, it'll be a wild pitch. It's a 5, so he's going to wild pitch and a run. Second run has come in on a wild pitch in this game. That's where the Havoc roll comes in. That will now be charged to Sellers, so we can close the book on Sellers. He's going to go 3 2/3 innings. And he's going to give up the 3 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. And walks and strikeouts. Struck out 2, 3. Struck out 3 and did not walk anybody. Whoops. Put that in the Crawford line. I don't know why I was doing that. I messed that up. I was putting it in the Crawford line. It doesn't matter. Nobody wants to see Crawford's numbers anyway. He sucks. All right, so Don Slott. Again, you roll the Havoc again because it could be another wild pitch. It's not. Here's Slott. 4-5, and as a fly to center to end the inning. But it is now 11-4, thanks to the wild pitch. It's 11-4 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Loin to back out. We'll be facing Baylor. There you go. See, there. That's why you rolled that, Mr. Guterman. Get those results. Brian B., I'm not sure if we could have had Len Byers or somebody. Who was that running back for Ohio State? Kevin, was it Keith Byers? Yeah. If we could have had Keith Byers playing this game, we would have had Byers and Sellers, but, you know, you either go Mike Tenderloin or Mike Loincloth, whichever you prefer. All right, here's Don Baylor. 112, that's a fly to left. 1 away. I was hoping for a close game, but, you know, Mama said there'd be days like this. Loin to Evans, 5-10. That's the catcher X. First catcher X I've had today. Catcher, in this case, is Don Slott. He is a 3. 3 and a 4 for a catcher. But nobody's on base, so it doesn't really matter. 3 and a 4 for a catcher is a W/G. So it is a ground out. And the error chance is an E10. So we got to avoid 12 and 18. And he does. So it's a ground out. 2-3 ground out for Dewey Evans. 2 down. Brings up Hendu. Yes, Burt B. Home Bly 11. That is definitely a Chris Bermanism for sure. 3-6 for Hindu, struck him out. So Loind can't get the save because he didn't go 3 full innings, but he's certainly going to lower his ERA, which was horrible at one point. So nothing doing for the Red Sox. We go to the top of the ninth. And Crawford going to try to just keep things from getting worse than they already are. Here's Buechele. 1-8 for Buechele, grounds to short. 1 away for the governor, Jerry Brown. He's 1 for 4. 3-7. He will strike out. 2 down for McDowell, who has doubled, homered, and walked, scored 3 runs. Driven in 3. 4-7. That's ground ball second base X. That's Romero. He's a 3E25. As a 3. Oh, a 3 and a 2. That's not good. That's a single. E25. He's got to avoid 3, 11, 17, and 18, which he does, but it is going to be a 2-out single. So McDowell a triple short of the cycle. Of course, with the score being 11-4, they're not going to hold him on, and they're not going to try to steal. They just want to, a 2, so chance of a balk or a pass ball. That's a chance for a pass ball. Pass ball rating on Mark Sullivan. Mark Sullivan's pass ball rating is a 14. That's not good. 1-14, we got a pass ball. And it is. It is a 14 around the number, so everything else is going wrong with the Red Sox. Why not a pass ball as well? Fletcher. 3 singles on the day. 6-6. Going to get more than that now. 6-6, 1-3 is a triple. 9's a double. It'll be a run-scoring double for Scott Fletcher. Another run is in. It is now 12-4. Favor of Texas. Here's Pete O'Brien, and Crawford's in for the duration. He's going to take one for the team. They don't want to burn another reliever in a blowout. Got the whole series to go. 4-8. Strikeout. Got him. So Crawford gets the out there. There's a dot, but he wasn't tired. He can go 3 innings before he hits fatigue. So the run comes in, makes it now a 12-4 ball game. As we go to the bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Red Sox, trailing at 12-4. That we will see some pinch hitters as we got the bottom of the order. So the Red Sox will send up Mike Greenwell to hit for Sullivan. Greenwell will hit for Mr. Sullivan. Sullivan not a very good hitter, so Greenwell is going to give it a shot. And then we might have Dotson pinch hit for Greenwell. For Owen. I haven't decided yet. It's a possibility. Just to get some guys some at-bats. All right. Loind, 3-3 to the pinch hitter Greenwell, and he's going to ground it to third. 1 away, and now Pat Dotson, a lefty, is stepped up to pinch hit for Spike Owen. Pat Dotson will pinch hit for Spike Owen, just to give him an at-bat. Against Loind, 3-3, and that's a fly to right field, 2 down. So 2 away for Wade Boggs. Can he hit a third home run? That'd be about the only excitement left to see if he can get a home run. Wade Boggs is perfect for the day. He's homered twice and walked twice. 3-11, and that's a ballpark blast. That's a 16. Lefties home runs are only 1-7, though. So it will be a deep fly to right. And that's going to end the ball game. So Boggs thought he had something, but couldn't quite get around that pesky pole. It was caught out there by Sierra to mercifully end this game. And the final score ends up being 12-4. Texas over Boston. Boy, let's go through some of the numbers here. They aren't pretty. Winner is Correa. Loser is Nipper. We know that for sure. Let's do some of the. And Boston won this game real world 4-1. You wonder how they got pitching like that, but just how it happened. So I've got, let's see, how many hits we got for Texas. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I've got them for 20 hits. 12 runs and 20 hits. There was one Boston error, and that error was on the pitcher. E1, that error was on Nipper, I believe. No, I'm sorry, not Nipper. It was on Sellers, I think it was. E1, so 12 runs, 20 hits. The Rangers had no errors. For the Red Sox, 4 runs. They did it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. So there's the final line score, unofficially, till I put it in the computer. 12 runs, 20 hits, no errors for Texas. 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for Boston. Winning pitcher Ed Correa, losing pitcher Al Nipper. See if I can get the win-loss record for both of those guys. Let's see here. Nipper coming into this game was 0-0, so now he's 0-1. His ERA is going to take a big hit, though. It was 2.84. It's gone way up since then. Correa, I believe I said he was 1-0. I believe he moves to 2-0 now. And Nipper drops to 0-1. So on the season, the Red Sox are now 0-7. 0-7, and the Rangers improve to 3-4. Terrible handwriting, but that's what it is. 3-4 for Texas, 0-7 for Boston. Will they ever win a game? We shall find out. That's the April 14th wrap-up. All the games for April 14th have been completed. We move on to April the 15th. The game on the video, probably either Saturday night or Sunday morning or Sunday evening or somewhere along those lines, will be Milwaukee at Baltimore. It is Juan 19th Nieves breakdown. He'll be pitching against Mike Flanagan, and it's a game that Nieves threw a no-hitter in real world, which is why I picked that game. So it'll be Milwaukee Brewers against the Baltimore Orioles. That'll be the next video in this replay. Thank everybody for spending part of your Thursday evening with me. Sorry it wasn't a closer game. Kind of like closer games. Not a whole lot of strategy going on because there wasn't a whole lot of strategy to do when the score gets out of hand like that. Once you got the 5 runs, once those 3 runs came in on the 4th inning, that kind of Katie barred the door right there. That Incaviglia double really was the coup de grace to finish off the inning. Unfortunately for the Red Sox, the big day was Wade Boggs. He had 2 home runs, all 4 runs driven in. So without Wade Boggs, they would have no runs and 5 hits. It'd be a 5-hit shutout without Wade Boggs. So going to be a long year for Boston. Needless to say, Bruce Hurst will pitch for Boston in their next game against Charlie Huff. The 4:15 game in this series will be Charlie Huff against Bruce Hurst, which would probably be a better pitching matchup than what today was, but I really want to do the 19th Nieves pitching thing. Be sure to tune into RJL Network. He's going to have some Fall Classic 1919 one-and-done tournament for you. For those that don't know anything about Fall Classic, it's kind of like APA, but there's a whole lot more to it. A whole lot more interesting twists and everything. It's its own game. But, it's if you know anything about APA, it kind of sort of flows that way. Best I can describe it. But you can check out RJL Network in a few minutes, and he'll get that going. And if you're curious about Fall Classic and how to play it, you can watch, and he can show you the way, show you all the dice rolls and the cards and whatnot. Fast action cards make that game go pretty smoothly. So again, thank you all for spending part of your Thursday evening with me. Again, final score 12-4, where the Rangers pound out 20 hits and batter Boston pitching, and Fenway faithful not exactly happy. All right, so that's going to do it from here. I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend, and make sure you tune in to guys like Jeffrey Gudeman and RGL Network, and anybody that's on here now that has a channel that I missed If I did, Spokane Steve, be sure to check his replays out from, I believe, 1966. A lot of good stuff going on. Oh, sorry, Dan Douglas, if you're still here. I didn't even see you come in. One good thing about having the Strat computer is I can print the cards off there, so I don't need the Strat viewer. So that does help a little bit in this replay anyway. So enough for that. I'm kind of worn out from this 12-4 game and all that offense. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.